Hey, this is Frederick from Fimble Winter, and you're watching CMS TV.
It's down right here on your classic metal show with just Steeple. That one going up by request to Demolich. Just before that, strange request in there, Hinder with Use Me for King Trump. Scary Symmetry in there with the spiral time shift for Chuck for North Carolina.
Or
Ar-
scar symmetry.
what is it?
Scar symmetry.
What did I say?
Scary.
Oh, scary, because I'm looking at the SY and the scar
Right.
at the same time. Yeah, scar symmetry, the spiral time shift. And Armored Saint in there with their new one with Hit a Moonshot for Scarfoot. And of course, we kick things off there with Iron Maiden featuring Blaze Bailey with Don't Look to the Eyes of a Stranger for Chris.
There we go.
So there we are. Good stuff, you guys. Always keeping the good requests coming. Most of it, anyway. I wasn't a fan of the Hinder thing, but all right, whatever.
I was digging the scary symmetry.
But anyway, we are into the second segment of the classic metal show. So I see you already have something posted up there on the board.
I got tons of stuff tonight. So
all right, well, take it away.
I'm going to tell you now. This is going to be a heavy music show with a lot of. There's just a lot happened this week.
Okay.
In our little classic metal world. So I'll start with the big one, and I guess it's the one I know it's the one we talked about earlier in the show.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Let's talk about Jizzy Pearl leaving Quiet Riot.
All right.
So out of the blue, I checked in with the people that I know that know people, and nobody saw this coming.
Okay.
Nobody saw it, and if people don't know what I'm talking about, Jizzy Pearl, lead singer of Quiet Riot, decided he's done with Quiet Riot. He's gonna finish out. He's gonna be a pro. He's gonna finish out whatever's on the schedule, but then he's out. That's what he's doing. And he said, I'll put the screenshot up. He said, "Hey everyone, I have decided to leave Quiet Riot. I will continue to fulfill all scheduled dates within my contractual obligations. As the old cliche says, I am moving on to new creative pursuits and projects. This happens when they're supposed to happen. I wish the guys nothing but the best, blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah. My question to you before we go any further, what do you think happened? Think he got bored, or do you think he got screwed?
I think if he got screwed, he would have just quit. So I just think he's just done with it.
You think?
Yeah. I don't know what a Quiet Riot gig pays, and I don't know how often they play.
They play pretty often.
Again, I don't know. I don't know. I don't keep up with what is known as Quiet Riot these days.
They're in that circle with like Piercy and Vixen and
LA Guns.
LA Guns that just like every Thursday, Friday, Saturday, it seems like they're out.
Okay.
They do play a lot. My first thought when I saw this was maybe Jizzy had asked for some time off, and then they booked shows in that time. Like maybe he was planning to go back to England or something. I don't know. And I hate when these guys do this bullshit like this and don't say. And I get why. It's professional courtesy. You don't want to air your dirty laundry. But he shouldn't air any of it then. He should just put out a press release with the band that says, you know what? Jizzy Pearl and Quiet Riot have decided to part ways. Thank you for your contributions. We look forward to your next projects.
Yeah,
blah, blah, blah.
but this isn't a parting ways thing, because if it was, this would be like immediate. He's saying, I'm going to fulfill all the dates and blah, blah, blah. So to me, that doesn't sound like there's any turmoil at all between he and his Quiet Riot bandmates. It just, maybe he's got something on the burner that he thinks will serve him better.
Maybe. And you could very well be right. I mean, I don't know. And I don't want to really guess. I mean, it is what it is. And quite honestly, if it would have stopped right here, it wouldn't have been a blip on anybody's map. Blabbermouth didn't even pick it up.
Right.
You know, I mean, Blabbermouth, God knows, we got to read every time Eric fucking Gronwald shits out a cancer-free fart. So, you know, I mean, we hear about that douchebag every single week, 3 times a week. Hey, he's got a new video. Hey, he's shooting a new video.
Right.
Hey, he's going on tour. Hey, yes, he did screw Skid Row again. You know, we get to hear that shit all the time about that guy. I would have thought that Jizzy Pearl quitting Quiet Riot would have been a 1 paragrapher or something, wouldn't you think?
Yeah, maybe.
You know,
I mean, who actually quote unquote runs Quiet Riot these days?
Alex
Grassi?
Yeah, Alex Grassi is the management, so to speak.
Management. Well, what I mean is who's the who you know, obviously they are Quiet Riot with the blessing of Frankie
Frankie's
Manelli's
wife.
estate,
Yeah.
you know. And, you know, again, I don't know if anything goes to Kevin Dubro's estate at all.
Yeah, who knows?
You know,
I don't know any of that.
I don't know what their corporate structure is or how it works, but the only, what do you want to call, recognizable member of Quiet Riot, obviously, is Rudy Sarzo, right? Is he still in there?
In the Quiet Riot realm, yes.
Yes.
But the guys are, you know, Johnny Kelly is very famous from Typo Negative. The drummer, Johnny Kelly,
again, I wasn't aware he was he was in Quiet Riot.
He's been the drummer for a couple of years or 2
all
or 3
right,
years.
I'm talking about the most popular lineup.
Oh yeah,
Quiet
no, it's
Riot.
just Rudy.
Right.
It's just Rudy, and he's what, 85 years old or something? He's got to be at least 70.
Yeah, well, I'm sure he is at least 70.
Yeah.
So I mean, at this point, as with so many other bands, you know, Quiet Riot is a tribute act.
I totally agree. Tribute act that somebody owns the logo to.
Yeah, it's a, you know, again, band versus brand. It's a brand.
And again, I you know, I'm much more different than most people on that. I don't even care.
Well, I know, but you don't have any ownership in any of that.
No. But I mean, a lot of fans care for some reason.
Well, because they again, you know, I let me take me for example, like the band Chicago. You know, I've brought that up over all the years that I've been doing the show. There's nobody left in that band. It's now a traveling brand. That's what it is.
But you wouldn't give hardly. I mean, you're a hardcore fan.
Yes.
If you were slightly less of a hardcore fan, if you just enjoyed their tunes, like me, I'm not a hardcore fan of Chicago.
I understand.
I like them. I like them.
Yes.
I know all the hits. I could sing them all. But I couldn't name. I can't name the guy that died, what, a week ago? Walter something?
Yeah, Walter Parazater.
Yeah, I don't know. You know,
but you see, that was my band as a kid growing up.
And that's fine.
So I have a little bit of, you know, it's just like, all right, guys, now all you are is a traveling brand.
Sure.
That's it. You're no longer Chicago. None of you wrote the songs.
No.
None of you performed the songs. You're just out there as a brand now.
And most hardcore fans would feel that way. I am like the casual fan.
Yeah,
I'm the guy that if it sounds good and it says Chicago in the background, it's fucking Chicago to me, man. I don't care. Same with Quiet Riot.
Right.
I don't give a shit that it's Jizzy Pearl and not Kevin Dubrow.
Well, but here's one I know you actually have thoughts on. The Pantera thing.
I do, because I'm a hardcore fan.
There you are.
That's what I was saying. The hardcores care.
Yes.
The casual fan, which is probably at the Quiet Riot level in 2026, that's who's going to this. It's not the hardcore guys that saw Kevin and Randy Rhoads back in 1981.
Or the guys or the people who enjoyed the MTV most popular lineup era.
I doubt that those people and just from seeing so many of these types of bands,
Yeah.
most of the people don't even know the names of the players. They don't. You know, they go to the casino. Why are they at the casino to see Quiet Riot? Because they like Come On Feel the Noise and they like Metal Health.
Yeah, because they know the tunes.
Yeah, that they know a couple of tunes. They got their first blowjob listening to it or something. So they're like, yeah, let's go see that shit. Quiet Riot, come into the casino.
Well, it's like 38 Special, you know.
Yeah. I mean, who would, dude, even if 38 Special was all original members, and I have no idea how many members they have.
There's one.
Oh, is there one? Just Barnes? Yeah. Is Don Barnes the guy?
That's it, Don Barnes.
Yeah. All right. I only know that it's Don Barnes because I interviewed the guy.
Right.
I wouldn't know. I never knew his name until I interviewed him. True story. I knew there was like a brother. Wasn't there a brother from the Van Zants or something that used to be in it or something?
Donnie, Johnny, and Ronnie.
Yeah, and one of them was 38 Special guy, right?
Donnie.
Yeah, I don't know. I never knew because they weren't an MTV face.
Right.
They had MTV hits, but even their hits were kind of like the If I'd Been the One videos, kind of like the horse running around a lot of shit. And who knows who the guys are in the band.
Hold On Loosely. And
yeah, I mean, I love all those songs, don't get me wrong. I wore the shit out of that, the greatest hits of 38 Special.
Mm-hmm.
But then I bought, I can't remember what it's called, the one with the horse on the cover.
Mm-hmm.
I bought that tape. And I can't name one song other than If I'd Been the One. You know? I know the hits. They were not a good band outside of the hits. They're like Styx.
Yeah.
Styx, another one. I love the songs that I know. But my God, I remember when I bought Paradise Theater from Styx.
Right.
And I loved Too Much Time on My Hands. I thought that was a killer song. And then I was like, well, what is the rest of this shit? Same with Kilroy Was Here. When I bought Kilroy Was Here, it's because my girlfriend at the time loved that song, Don't Let It End.
Okay.
And I remember I bought that stupid tape for Don't Let It End so I'd have it in the car so I could try and make out with her. That's true.
Sure.
That is the truth.
Sure.
But then when you listen to the rest of it, even the ones that were popular were shit. Don't Let It End's not a great song, but Mr. Roboto, that's terrible. You know, and I mean, there was a lot of crap on a lot of these bands. And Quiet Riot, Lord knows, is there a band that's been able to stretch a couple of hits more than them?
Not really.
I mean, what did they have? 2, right?
Yeah, for the most part.
Metal Health and Come On Feel the Noise.
That's it.
I mean, are we going to count, what is that? Clap Your Feet and Stomp Your Hands or whatever that song is called? Stomp your hands, clap your feet.
Right.
You know, and then they also had Winner Takes All. That was a pretty big song for them.
Slick
So I had
Black
3.
Cadillac.
Yeah, I don't think most people would know Slick Black Cadillac. Do you?
Well, let's just say that they have lived on the strength of one
album. Yeah, one album and one song off of a future album. You know, and I mean, good for them. I'm certainly not shitting on them for it. Good for them. I just don't think people care. I don't think people give a shit who's in front of them as long as it sounds good.
Yeah, it sounds like Quiet Riot.
And it's not $300 to see it.
Exactly.
You know, I mean, what a Quiet Riot show, I'm going to assume, is between $35 and $50. I could be dead wrong on that. It could be 100. I don't know, but I'm thinking 35 to 50.
Yeah, I don't know that they play solo shows. Do they? Do they play solo shows?
I think it's usually like them and Piercy or
it's like a
Vixen.
package. It's usually a package.
Yeah.
You know, two of the name brand bands of the same era that they play together.
Yeah, and that's probably about 50 bones. Don't you think?
Yeah, for 2 bands. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they're not. There's nothing unreasonable about it, and certainly in today's pricing, $50 to see anybody sing, to see me singing these fucking songs would be worth $20. You know, I mean, that just because it's those songs. So In any event, I don't know where I'm even going with this. Let me bring it back around.
Well, you wanted to know my thoughts
Yeah.
about what happened with Jizzy and
Yeah.
whether this was amicable or whether this was, just
Yeah.
Jizzy, just like, you know what, I am done with this.
I've heard from some people that he's pissed off about something. Again, I don't know.
All right.
I do not know, and it's not like I can reach out to him like the old days and just ask. So I'm not. But whatever the case is, it doesn't matter. The man is out of Quiet Riot, or he's leaving Quiet Riot. Fair enough. So he leaves Quiet Riot immediately, maybe 4 hours after this message goes online. Quiet Riot posts up a post saying, auditioning new singers. Check it out, right? They just like immediately have this great, and I'm sure it was just, hey, ChatGPT, we need a singer. Go.
Right.
Right. I'm sure that's what they did. So, but that kind of makes me think that they might have been blindsided a little bit too.
No, they may have.
Because then they whipped out a quick statement that was the standard statement. We wish Jizzy the best in his future endeavors. We thank him for his time in the band and his contribute, blah, blah, that kind of shit. So anyway, let's move forward, because this is where it gets kind of interesting to me. So they put this out there, and immediately, apparently Skid Row has started an ugly trend here, which is that everybody and their brother is just going to try out for shit on YouTube now. That's the new way.
Yeah.
Everybody's just going to put their spin on it. So this one kid puts his spin on it. This kid's name is John Tora. He's like 23 years old. And well, I'll play some of it and then we'll talk about it. So let me switch to that. Share this tab. All right, so this is this kid's audition, and I'm not going to play all of it. It's like 5 minutes, but
okay.
I'll play you a good piece of it so that you can get a feel. He's very good at this.
Well, I mean, obviously he's a fan of that era based on the shit on his wall there.
Yeah. And he's good at it. I mean, he does. I watched some of his other videos as well because I didn't want to judge before I actually had a feel.
Mm-hmm.
And he's very good at this. He does a lot of Cinderella stuff that sounds really good. He's one of these chameleon types that can do these 80s rocker voices.
Okay.
He's 23 years old. So let's check out a little bit of John Tora. Ready?
Okay, go. No, he does a dead on Kevin DuBrow.
He's fine as far as vocals.
Is this Frankie's son?
See, I hate this because I got to be honest on this. I think this kid is very good at this.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he has no chance at all to get this gig.
Yeah.
He's a fat kid.
Yeah, he's a fat kid.
And in this, I don't even care that he's a fat kid. It shouldn't matter, but let's be real. It does matter. It does matter.
Presentation.
And you're not going to have two fat guys in the same band. Because Alex has got some pounds too, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, I haven't seen him in years, but yeah, he's a little heavy.
So are you going to have your lead guitar player and your singer both be fucking fatties? I don't think you can.
No.
And further to it, I don't think you can in this kind of business. They're not Quiet Riot 2026 on is their whole purpose is just to get up and sing the old songs. If you were looking for a guy to sound like Kevin and work on some new material, maybe this kid has a shot. But just to fly around every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday and play gigs, I can't see this kid being the guy. Can you?
No.
Well, we are in the very big minority, dude. Everybody and their brother from the 80s is giving this kid love.
Okay.
Literally.
I mean, he's obviously sounds just
he
like
sounds
Kevin
very
DuBrow.
good. Again,
Yeah.
I'm not even slamming him. I do think he needs to clean up his presentation a whole bunch. And it's funny because I had a conversation with somebody, I won't name him, but about this today. And I was like, you know, because a lot of the conversation has been, you know, give this kid the chance and let him live his dream and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, if this is his dream, he wouldn't be fat. Because you got to know that the presentation is part of the gig.
It is.
Unless you're going to replace Lizzo in her band, you cannot be fat. And I'm not, and again, I'm the last one to talk. I'm the fattest fuck in the room.
Yeah, but
I'm not trying to sing for a band.
Right, but we're talking about being the front man of a band. And you got to have a certain charisma about being a front man.
Yeah, I mean,
unless of course you're Meatloaf.
Yeah. But Meatloaf didn't front Quiet Riot.
I understand.
A very skinny guy fronted Quiet Riot. And subsequent singers of Quiet Riot were all very skinny guys.
Mm-hmm.
Scott Vokoun, Jizzy. These are skinny guys.
Yeah.
You're not going to, and again, I feel terrible shitting on this kid.
Yeah, but what you're talking about is rock star swagger.
Yeah. And he does not have that. He just doesn't have that. He's great at what he's doing. I watched some of his personal band, and he sounds great when he's doing it. He plays guitar, and, you know, I mean, I think he's good. I think if he really wants to do this professionally, he's going to have to lose 40 pounds. That's like a requirement. Unfortunately, that is a requirement.
Yeah. Well,
because
he's like the male counterpart to Mariah.
Yeah. Kind of, yeah.
He's talented, can sing, can play guitar, you know. But you gotta keep that.
Yeah.
You know, if you're going to be the front person, you got to definitely have a, you know, a very lean, mean look about you.
He's got to come on, feel the burn. I mean, Jesus. And again, I'm not trying to hammer this kid. I want this kid to succeed as much as everybody else does.
You're not really making commentary about him.
No.
You're making commentary about the business.
The whole scene, the business.
Right.
Quiet Riot as a band will be worth less money if they bring a fat kid in front of it. They just will be.
Yeah, because they'll just look like a tribute band.
Yes. It's just a fact of life that it will be worth less money. And these guys, the only reason they're doing this, since none of them are even original guys, the only reason they're doing this is money.
Sure.
So you got to do what makes the most money with this. You know, I think I was texting back and forth with Stevie a little bit. Stevie's way on board with this kid.
Okay.
And it was discussed about this kid and being heavy and blah, blah, blah. And I had said to him, I said, you know what? They got to go with a retread guy there. Quiet Riot's only way through the days of Arnel Pineda being found in the Philippines is over. That day is done. This kid is not the new Arnel Pineda. He's just not. And the difference is Arnel was thin because he couldn't afford to eat in the Philippines. So he was skinny. He fit the bill. I guarantee you, if they would have seen Arnel Pineda, if this kid would have been Arnel Pineda, he ain't getting that gig.
Right.
No chance. None. So we talked about it, and it was discussed that it's probably just going to be some sort of name guy. You know, what's the dude that played bass in Akin for a minute, but's also a singer? Not Doogie White, but Doogie White would be one. Bowles.
Yeah, Mark Bowles.
Mark Bowles could be one of these guys. You know, potentially. Paul Shortino maybe comes out of raiding the Rock Vault back into Quiet Riot or something. That would sell some tickets. You know, I mean, that's what I think is they got to go with somebody that's sort of recognizable. It doesn't have to be famous guy, but it has to be somewhat recognizable guy. What do you think?
Yeah, again, aside from Rudy Sarzo.
Mm-hmm.
And you pointed out their drummer too, but I wasn't even aware he was in there.
Mm-hmm.
If you're looking for name brand people in Quiet Riot to make a promoter spend the money,
Yeah.
it's like, am I spending the money and bringing in quote unquote Quiet Riot, or am I paying for a tribute band here?
Yeah. And if I'm paying for a tribute band, guess what? You're getting $1,500 instead of $8,000 or whatever they make. I don't know what they make, but I don't know if that's even a good number. You think that's accurate? $8,000?
I'm thinking 8 to 10.
8 to 10,000.
Yeah.
They're not going to pay 8 to 10,000 with heavy Freddie Mercury here. They're just not going to do it.
I agree.
And
again, it's like, who's this guy?
Yeah.
You go, if he were to be the front man of Quiet Riot, people would go, who the heck is this guy?
Yeah.
I mean, he would have more success starting a Quiet Riot tribute band.
Mm-hmm. He would. You're 100% right. But he's never gonna have that look. And I don't care. And I'm gonna show you the list of people that have come up sucking this kid's dick, which is amazing how many people have launched onto this kid.
Well, are they praising him because he sounds like
Yes.
Kevin Dubrow? That's it.
And they're praising him. The whole industry buzz right now is, here's a kid from out of nowhere. Let's give him a chance. And my thought is, you know what? This is not the band.
Yeah, this isn't Ripper Owens joining Judas Priest.
Yes. But Ripper wasn't fat.
No, I agree.
Again, I hate to keep banging on that as a fat guy because I shouldn't. According to everybody else, because I'm fat, I'm not allowed to recognize fat.
But it's show business.
It's show business. Look at this picture. I'm going to show you. Share this tab. This picture right here, you see the double chin.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot have that as the lead singer of an 80s band. You can't. And, somebody had said to me today when I was talking to them, they're like, well, maybe Quiet Riot brings him in, but then they put him in like a weight thing or something. And in my head, I was like, they can't afford that, or they're not going to pay that. They're not going to do that.
How long do they wait?
And who says it's going to work? He got fat in the first fucking place. And I'm being serious. This is fat guy talk here. I say all the time I'm going to fucking eat vegetables and lose 50 pounds. And guess what? 2 days later, I'm eating a fucking piece of pizza and sucking down 3 popsicles.
Right.
That's what fat guys do. It's just the truth of it. And if he's serious, if this guy who clearly has talent is truly serious, he starts losing weight on his own. So the next time one of these gigs pops up, he can apply for it. That kid's voice is good enough to do the Skid Row gig. Don't you think?
Sure.
But why is he not going to get that gig? Same reason. Because he's a fat kid.
Yeah, he's got to be a dynamic, dazzling frontman.
Yeah. So look at this list of people celebrating this kid. I mean, it is long.
Yeah.
There's a lot of, there's all these different guys that are all saying, "Oh man, amazing! You deserve the gig. Look what Journey did. Look at Patrick from the Hair Metal Guru show. Look what Journey did with Arnel Pineda. When you find a dead ringer, you run with it."
Dead ringer?
He's not a dead ringer, and he ain't doing any running. Stop it, Patrick.
I see Dave Tedder chiming in there with, "That's my dude."
Yeah. Dude, it's crazy. Everybody is jumping on this. And to be honest, I'm going to be as honest as I can be here. I hope I'm 100% wrong, and I got to eat my balls on this one, and this kid does get the gig. Because from everything that I see, from people that know him, from watching the videos, he's clearly into the music and whatever, even though he's young. I hope he does get it. honestly, but it'll be the death of the band.
Yeah.
It will end Quiet Riot.
Well, let's just scroll that up just a little bit.
More?
Scroll the now look at the ads that Stevie is running on Metal Sludge, advertising the Sludge shirts. You don't see a fat guy wearing the Sludge shirts.
Absolutely
Scroll
not.
down just a little bit.
No.
Right there.
Yeah.
See? You don't see some fat guy wearing a Sludge shirt.
No. You don't see a fat guy in Tough.
Even in advertising, you're not seeing, I understand that's like a mannequin, but you don't see a fat mannequin wearing a shirt.
No. And I hate it that this is the way that we are in today's world. But it is.
But that's show business.
Show business is you're supposed to not only sound better than the fans, but you're supposed to look bigger, better. He looks bigger, but not better.
Right. He's a metalhead kid that worships that style of music for his age, and that's it.
Yeah, and if he wants to do it professionally, he's got to get in shape.
Yeah, you know who he reminds me of? Remember that Twisted Sister video where that kid, what is it, that long form Twisted Sister video where that kid is like, it's that teacher. He goes, "Don't worry, man, we'll take care of it." Remember that?
Yeah, that's what, the I Wanna Rock video, right?
Yeah, that's the one.
Mm-hmm.
But that's that kid right there.
Yeah.
He's a fat metalhead kid.
Yeah. He's Flounder in Animal House. And I say that with all the respect in the world. I want this kid. I watched the video a couple of times. Like I said, I did go out and look up his band. His band's called, I think, Fire and Ice.
What do they do? Are they just like a
cover band? They play Cinderella. They play.
All right, so they're an 80s tribute band.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's very good sounding. But he does not have the look to be on the national level. He doesn't. And everybody and their brother can say otherwise. And all these guys, Ricky Rocket and Lita Ford's guitar player and Brett Carlisle from Great White. Guess why Brett Carlisle got his gig? A, he sounded like him. B, he's skinny as a rail.
Yep, he's a skinny front man.
Yeah. That's part of the gig. James Durbin kicked in on this thing. What do you know about James Durbin? He sure as fuck ain't fat. He's got a great voice and he's not fat. All these people that chimed in on this thing are not fat. They're just ignoring the obvious. But I guarantee you the people that are spending money to see these shows are not going to ignore the elephant in the room, so to speak. They're just not going to do it.
Right. I mean, our friend Sheldon Tarsha, he's not a fat guy.
No. Name a fat... Dude, even the guys that we used to know that were fat guys in music, they either died or got thin. The Fat Boys died. John Popper lost 200 pounds.
Yeah, he did.
Why? Because Blues Traveler hit a wall. How hot was Blues Traveler and they couldn't get to the next level? Right. Remember how hot they were in the midnight when they had Runaround and what was that, the Mountains Never End or whatever that song was called? Remember? I mean, they were huge for a minute.
Yeah, they even got guest spots on Howard Stern when he was hot.
Yeah, and they did like a guest spot on like Roseanne at the top of the Roseanne.
And they were also in the movie Kingpin.
Yeah. So why did that band not? I'm a firm believer because they were super talented. I saw them a couple times. They were great live. But they had the fat guy out front. And people will see that once and then it's just like me going into a fucking room of models trying to get laid. It just isn't going to happen. They'll be pleasant to me.
Right.
The model will be like, "Oh, you're so sweet." And, "Oh, what do I look for in a man? Well, I look for a good attitude and funny." I would hear that. That's what I would hear. That's what this kid's going to hear. But when it comes down to it, there ain't going to be anybody fucking him. There's not going to be anybody going to these shows because he's fat. I'm sorry that that's the truth, but that's the truth.
Yeah. You know, going back to what Anthony from the hair metal guru says, he goes, you know, I think I sound, you know, he sounds like Kevin Dubrow. Yep, he sure does.
He does.
And that's where it ends.
That's it. I mean, he looks like he ate Kevin Dubrow's tombstone. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to point out the obvious that everybody else is afraid to say. But that is the truth here. And I hope, and like I said, I'm going to keep saying it because I really, really mean it. I hope that I'm proven wrong on this. But I don't think I will be. I promise you, if I was guessing, it'll be a name that we know. It's not going to be somebody huge, obviously. It's not going to be Glenn Hughes.
Right.
But it's not going to be John Torra either. It's going to be, because even Quiet Riot, because this kid got so much attention all of a sudden, they put out on their, after their initial post, they put out something that said, well, you know, we're looking for somebody with more experience and who's toured before, you know, basically saying, we're not bringing in the fat kid.
He's not it. He's sounds
not
great.
The guy.
He sounds great. He's just not it.
Yeah. And again, good for him. He sounds great. I hope I'm wrong. I hope he gets the gig. All that said, but I'm going to move on here because I know I'm talking in circles too. So it doesn't end here though, Neely.
Okay.
So everybody starts kissing this kid's ass online about how great he is and this and that. Now he sounds like Kevin and, you know, everybody starts this, right? So then there's one comment that gets posted out there. Some rando. It wasn't like a famous person either. It was just some random comment that says, it's AI. As everybody says about everything now. They say that it's AI.
All right. Well, if it was AI, I'd think they'd make it look better.
Okay. Well, they're saying that the voice is AI.
Oh, the voice is AI.
The voice is AI.
And so he's lip syncing to AI?
Yeah.
Or they're replacing his actual vocal with AI. Yeah, okay.
With Kevin, with like a print, a voice print of Kevin's voice.
Right.
So who jumps in agreeing and saying, you can tell that it's voice synthesization or whatever?
Okay.
Jizzy jumps in on this.
Okay.
And it's like, dude, you're the guy that just quit the band. Don't offer a comment on this. Why would he comment on that? He, of all people, should shut up. He's the one guy that should have no comment on this. Don't you think?
Yeah, that isn't the place to comment.
Yeah. And it's a bad look for him.
Yeah, and plus he's still in the band currently.
Yeah. What if they were going to bring this kid in and then he shit on it? Now they can't bring him in.
Yeah, because it's like, well, he didn't get the blessing of our current singer.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, dude, just ignore it. I don't know why Jizzy would. I mean, I don't get it. I don't get any of this. I don't get why people are pretending that this kid is the guy. I don't understand why Jizzy would comment on this thing. I don't understand why they just didn't put it out in a joint statement. I don't understand much of this. It's the oddest story of the week, bar none, to me. I mean, is there anything here that feels normal to you?
No.
It's so
but
weird.
This is the world of the internet, though.
I know.
Everybody just lives on the internet.
Yeah.
I mean, not one of these people who made a comment over here has a stake in any of this.
No, none of them. Yeah, I mean, I just for all reasons mentioned, I just don't. I don't think he's the guy. B, I personally, and this goes even to Skid Row as well, I hate that we're now just taking YouTube videos and trying to find band members. That's such a lazy, lame thing. And it also kind of ruins it for the actual fans of the band.
Well, not only that, but it doesn't cost anything.
No.
And that's what it all boils down to. Well, what is it going to cost us to people get engaged with the band
Yeah.
and put out their own rendition of, thinking that, hey, I have a chance, even though probably they don't.
Yeah. I mean, it just, I hate it. Dude, when in the old days, I'll use a big one that's obviously way bigger than this story, but just to make my point. Do you remember when Sammy Hagar was announced in Van Halen?
Yes.
Do you remember how you were just blown away? You were just like, you've got to be kidding me. How is that going to work? Holy shit.
Yeah, of course, because he sounded nothing like David Lee Roth.
Yeah. Same with like John Bush, when John Bush joined Anthrax in 92.
It doesn't sound like Joey Belladonna to me. How's that going to work?
But you were interested.
Yeah, of course.
It came out of nowhere. You didn't see it coming. There wasn't rumors. And same with Karabi in Motley Crue. We hadn't even heard, we knew Vince was out of the band, but we didn't know what was going on. And then I don't even think that they really announced him until right before they released Hooligan's Holiday, did they?
Well, the only source that we had that was immediate at that time was MTV News.
Yeah.
That was the only place that we found out something happening right away, because obviously there was no internet at the time.
Yeah.
So it's like, breaking on MTV News. Pew, 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 pew.
I think all these bands in general, every one of these bands from the 80s, has forgotten the power of mystery. There was a real power to the mystery of these bands. When we didn't know everything about these fucking guys, we loved them. Now that we know that they don't like you if you voted for Donald Trump, or if you I don't know, if you're not for immigration reform or whatever the fuck, whatever bullshit political shit that they're spitting on their Facebook or their social media, if you're not down with them, now we know that. It was so much better when I knew nothing about Iron Maiden or nothing about Skid Row or nothing about Motley Crue. Motley Crue is probably my best example of this. I don't know about you, but I worshipped Motley Crue until I learned who they were. And now I don't even like Motley Crue because it's hard to support Nicky and Tommy, especially. One goes to jail for beating his chick. The other one just seemingly likes to just lie. It's hard to like those guys anymore. It just is. But they knew back then the power of mystery. How many times did they do stuff where it was like, oh, here's 10 seconds. Remember when they used to give us 10 seconds of music?
Yeah.
On MTV News?
Yeah, it was just a tease.
Yeah, MTV would come on and be, pew, 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 you heard it here first. Pew, pew, pew. And they'd be like, Motley Crue's getting ready to release their first single from the record, and we got it first. Here's a little tease. It'd be like 10 seconds. It'd be like, da-na, da-na. Hey, that was Motley Crue. What do you guys think?
Are you pumped? Are you stoked?
Are you pumped? Here's the new Anthrax. Dun-dun. Hey, what you guys think of that? Anthrax with John Bush. Didn't hear one word of him singing. Yeah, so that's the Jizzy story. That's quite the story, is it not?
Yeah, it's interesting, especially a band that really has no original members, which, again, so many bands out there today don't.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that they still have some kind of a following or a career, or they still can draw an audience, it's amazing.
It is amazing, especially with their limited hits, like you said. But that unfortunately was not the only member singer leaving a band this week. Of course, we talked about it briefly last week that John Corabi had said he didn't know what was going on with the band. Well, I believe it was Sunday, maybe Monday, we found out he's out of the band.
Right, he's out of Dead Daisies.
He's out of the Dead Daisies. Now, this is, as much as we're saying that the last one was a bad look for Jizzy, this is a terrible look for David Lowy and the Dead Daisies camp. You bring this guy back in, you tell him he can go off and do a record. Then when he goes off and does a record, then you fire him and bring back Glenn Hughes. For what reason? There's no reason given.
Is it just name recognition? Is that it?
I guess.
Can they, and again, I don't know what their financial situation is, but can they get more money with a
No.
Glenn Hughes at the lead vocal?
No way.
You don't think?
I don't think. No.
Okay. All right.
Glenn Hughes was in Deep Purple 50 years ago, Mach 23 or whatever. He wasn't an original.
No.
He wasn't. I mean, he had a couple of hits with them, but I mean, outside of that, what has Glenn Hughes done? And I'm not saying that to shit on him. You know I love Glenn Hughes.
Right, of course. But he's Glenn Hughes.
He's Glenn Hughes, the voice of rock.
Right.
I get it. I get that he's a tremendous vocalist. I never would say anything different than that. But he was never in Motley Crue. I think Corabi fits that band better, and Corabi will move more tickets just because the Motley idiots will go. Honestly, I don't think money matters. I don't think this Lowy dude gives a shit.
Well, that's my point. That's why I said I don't know what their financial situation is as to whether they care about the money. And again, I Dead Daisies, I don't know that much about them aside from who's in the band, some of their core members.
Well, you're like everybody. Nobody knows anything about the Dead Daisies.
Yeah, but it's just, again, it's a project. It's not really a band. It's a project.
Yeah. So, of course, he gets fired, and he goes to social media, because everybody has to go to social media.
Yeah, of course. It's always the court of public opinion.
Yeah. So just setting the record straight, I'm not joining Quiet Riot, which that's pretty funny, actually.
Yeah, that is funny.
I'm not returning to the crew. It was not a mutual decision to leave the band I was recently in, but I can also state that it's a new opportunity, a new chapter, and excuse the pun, a new day.
Okay.
Translation, in my head, since nobody's going to tell us, I'm going to guess. David Lowy got mad that he got shown up by Corabi over the weekend. I don't think they meant to fire John Corabi, but I think Lowy, being a very high up rich guy, did not like his band being thrown under the bus even a little bit with, I don't know what's going on. Nobody's told me a fucking thing. And I think he got pissed off about it and said, good, I'll tell you what's going on, motherfucker. You're out. That's my assumption.
Yeah, there's your answer.
Yeah, your answer is beat it, fuckwad. I'll bring in somebody else. I got more money than God. I can bring in whoever. Jizzy Pearl's available.
Maybe.
Could be. Who knows? I'll be honest, Jizzy Pearl fits the Dead Daisies a whole lot better than Glenn Hughes.
Well, these two have run in the same circles, the rat circles,
Yeah.
same groups.
Yeah. Well, they were both in that group at the same time, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Weren't they both in Rat at the same time?
Yeah.
Yeah, so who knows? So I don't know. I mean, it's just the Dead Daisies. I get it. It's a rich guy just going around having fun. But if they're planning to do anything else other than that, it might be time to end this, don't you think? It just is. It hasn't really caught on. Can you name 3 songs?
No.
Can you name 1 song?
No.
I can name Fox on the Run. They did a cover of that.
So it's a cover they did. They did a sweet cover? Okay.
You know, I could name that, but I don't know any of their songs. You know, it's not a, and you know me, I will listen to anything John Corabi sings. And the fact that I can't name 2 or 3 songs tells you all you need to know about the interest in that band. If a guy that literally buys everything and has seen Corabi in every form, with Union, Solo, Motley, Rat, everything he's done, Dead Daisies, I've seen Corabi across the board with everything he's done. You would think I would know 2 songs, and I don't. You know, and I think most people are like that. I don't think most people can name 2 Dead Daisies songs. So I don't know. It just was a weird week this week of this kind of bullshit. Just nonsense, man. But there you have it. There's your singers leaving bands update for the week, which was aplenty this week. Plenty of movement.
All right. Well, hey, good luck to both Jizzy and John.
Yeah. Well, Corabi's out there touring. I wonder if that Michael Devin is going to be fired. I haven't heard word one. I guess he plays bass. Yes, maybe. But Glenn Hughes plays bass. So is Glenn Hughes going to put the bass down, or are they going to fire this guy? Going to fire this guy that's out with John Corabi, now the enemy.
Right.
You know, they'll probably fire him too.
Yeah, well, with Glenn, we got 2 for 1. We got a singer and a bassist.
Yeah. Yeah. Who knows?
And Glenn Hughes is no longer fat either.
No, Glenn Hughes is not fat either. He's skinny as a rail. He could front Quiet Riot.
Sure.
That'd be an interesting mix, that's for sure. But all right, well that's where we're at with singers leaving bands this week. Crazy week of this shit, to say the least.
Well, you know, it's singers leaving bands, but not without some kind of controversy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Do you want to do another one quick, or you want to take a break?
Let's just go ahead and do another one.
All right. Well, since we're talking about bands and people leaving bands, here's another one. Frank Farrar of Guns N' Roses has spoken up about him leaving his band.
All right.
Everybody got something to say about getting fired this week. Although his statement, this reads like he thinks he might get back. His statement is, everything comes to an end. Everything just comes to an end. And I've said this before, I knew this thing wasn't gonna be forever. I was just so happy I got to do it when I got to do it. And now I'm doing other stuff. It's really that simple. I don't believe that for 1 second. Do you?
Well, you know, if he went into it knowing, you know, the temperament of Axl, and knowing that he had a revolving door of musicians prior to, you know, Duff and Slash coming back.
Right.
Because, you know, I mean, look at the guys that went through there. You had Brain and Buckethead and Bumblefoot and, you know.
Zach Wilde for a minute.
Yes, Zach Wilde. So for him to go into this thinking I'm going to be the long-term guy, that'd be foolish.
It would be. But still,
it's like everybody's replaceable, and Axl just may get a bug up his butt about something, you know, and say, yeah, I'm going to get somebody else.
But do you really think that Axl just said, well, you know what? We just want to make a change. We're going to shift directions now.
You never know.
After Axl 19 years.
Well, it seems like Axl does things on a whim. Who knows?
Well, he used to, but it's been a while since he's fired.
It's been a while, and again, you don't know what the contractual thing is with these players because everybody's under contract. They're just for hire guns.
So maybe he asked for more money, and Axl said, "Beat it, pal."
It's like, well, listen, I've been in the band 19 years, and you know, I haven't had a raise since I started.
Since 19 years ago.
You know, So this time around to re-up with you, you think I could get maybe a 3% raise?
Yeah.
Fuck you, you're out of here.
You're out of here,
You know how
pal.
many people want this gig?
Yeah, that's true. That could very well be it, but it's just funny that even after being fired, can't say anything bad.
Nope.
Gotta keep. You're not going back to Guns N' Roses, bro. You could say, you know what, Axl fired me for this reason, whatever the reason is, or maybe not. Maybe he's got an NDA. You think that could be it? You think Axl's one of those guys?
I guarantee you that's the case.
So that's why. So then why make any statement about it? Why not just say next question? I don't
know. So this Isaac Carpenter, what do we know about this guy?
I don't know shit about him.
Yeah.
He's a white guy.
Yeah. Is he fat?
No, he's not fat. He's definitely not fat.
So for whatever reason, he's not in anymore. So maybe some contractual obligation came up and he was at the end of his contract, and maybe they found somebody who, I don't know, maybe he's a friend of Axl's, or maybe he'll play cheaper, or maybe, whatever. You just never know with these guys.
Yeah. And I guess we're in the age now where we want to know. We want to know everything, especially because, the biggest drummer firing was obviously Steven Adler. And we've learned everything about his removal from the band. And we learned pretty much everything about Matt Sorum leaving the band too, didn't we? Didn't we learn that he was not well liked in the band or something? So when
I never heard that. I just know that, when that iteration of the band started slowly coming apart, I think there was a lot of uncertainty with Guns N' Roses, and so Matt Sorum went back to
the Cult.
To the Cult.
Yeah. Okay, I don't remember. I'm honestly.
I don't think there was any bad blood there, but I just know that one by one, Duff left, Slash left, Sorum left.
Yeah. Well, if there was bad blood, it had to be between Axl and Sorum, because the rest of those guys with Sorum formed Velvet Revolver.
Yeah, Gilby Clarke left.
Yeah.
They just one by one just peeled off and went their own way.
Mm-hmm.
So Sorum went back to the Cult, and they formed that Velvet Revolver.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, Guns N' Roses is not doing anything.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Guns N' Roses, that whole run was just sitting there recording the never-ending Chinese Democracy.
Yeah, with a whole bunch of different people.
Yeah. Mess. Why do we like this music again? There's a bunch of fucking idiots in these bands.
That's true.
God damn it.
Dysfunctional people.
It really is. That's why it's always funny when these guys all want to give their political advice. It's like, you guys are the most fucked up people on the planet.
Yeah.
Every last one of you. All right. Well, I think that's enough. That's enough.
All right.
That's your band firing segment for the show tonight.
So when did this Frank get the boot? This week?
No. About a year ago.
Oh, about a year ago. Okay.
Yeah, I think that Isaac guy did last summer's shows.
All right.
I think. I don't know, dude. Once Axl started sounding like Mickey Mouse, I stopped even looking at videos.
Of course.
It's
like, well, what am I going to see here?
Yeah, it's like, do you know where you are? Huh? You're in the jungle, baby. It's like, oof. What happened, man?
Yikes.
Hey, he does. He sounds like Mickey Mouse.
I know.
It's terrible.
I know. I get it. All right. Well, we're going to jump back into the tunage here. I got a request for some, believe it or not, Jackal wants to hear Deep Purple.
You got to be kidding me.
I am not kidding you. This is way out of the realm of the usual.
That's crazy talk.
Yep. So I'm going to play a tune here from the House of the Blue Light for Jackal, and he wants to hear the lead off track with Bad Attitude. So
all right.
Here's Deep Purple exclusively here
on your classic metal show.